Watch fans, today we are going to dive into one of my favorite colorways, but a different brand. We're going to be looking at Audemars Piguet today, one of those brands that I feel really gives you something to dive into. Stay tuned. So, out of all of the brands, you have very few that actually stayed true and were continuously owned by family members that actually the company itself just stayed within the family. We know that Breitling was one of those. And then recently, within the past couple of years, they have actually now become, for the first time, owned by someone who is outside of Lyon. Well, for Audemars Piguet, that's actually going to be one of those true cases where it's a brand that lasted as long as it could and has been known to be one of those brands that has been family owned and operated for a long time. Now, I personally love the relationship between the two families for Audemars and the Piguet family. So one of my favorite things in particular is the fact that a lot of people don't know they actually grew up as childhood friends. They would actually go their own separate ways. Audemars would actually make a name for himself through a pocket watch, and he would actually make a complication on one that would definitely be different and unique, and it would actually make a name for himself in his community. Both actually growing up in Switzerland. These two gentlemen would later come together and create what is the powerhouse now that we know as Audemars Piguet. This particular watch that we're looking at today, I love because it is loud, it is proud, it speaks for itself, but yet it's still very simplistic. I feel that the 15710 ST is one of those watches that says, hey, I'm here and I am alive. And I love that. I feel that it is full of fun and it is full of life. The turquoise color on it really stands out. It gives its own unique flair to the watch itself, especially for a watch that is made to be more simplistic and to actually do what it's meant to do. The turquoise does have a purpose, however. A lot of people don't know. Turquoise actually is formed in acidic water. Whenever copper is around or is included in acidic water, it can create turquoise. So you'll have it in countries where you have larger bodies of water that are acidic, like Russia or China, or even in America. We'll actually have it in Southern California, Nevada, and a few other places. So that's one of those colors that actually has a purpose when you talk about this is a true dive watch. I love the actual size of the watch. This one actually comes in right at 42 millimeters, but it's going to wear a little bit bigger. You need to know that because of how the pins and lobes actually attach, it gives it a little bit of stretch, so it's going to wear more like a 44. The thickness of this one too, I love because you can wear it with a nice suit, but you can also wear it leisurely or when you're truly diving or using it for its real function. I really do love on this piece itself, you do have the screw down crown on both of the actual crowns. However, on that crown, it is actually going to be integrated inside of the watch dial itself. So when you look at it being integrated inside the watch dial, you're talking about the fact that as you turn the knob, you're actually able to command that ring inside of it. And guess what it does? It actually uses and keeps itself as the timer. So you have your 60-minute counter actually being controlled by your crown itself, and you can screw it back down. I love the way that they gave you the beautiful accents in white. So guess what happens? It stands out. When you're at your 15-minute warning, you know it. And with this turquoise blue, trust me, it is saying, warning, we are at our last 15 minutes of oxygen. It may be time for us to start to ascend back to the surface. I think that that is the perfect color to actually accent this. And with those white gold hands, it really jumps. And that beautiful lollipop second hand, it gives the perfect amount of luminescence that when you're in a deeper body of water that gets a little bit darker, that second hand actually stands out. And it's a completely different shape than everything else. With that white gold finish on it, guess what else it does? It keeps it from being more corrosive. So the hands themselves last longer. That means less service, more time on my wrist. Also, one of the fun things that I love about the ballast actually on this watch, it's a larger ballast. Guess what that does? It creates more shock absorbance. It makes it more shock resistant. Yes, it does give a slower heartbeat. So this one's going to be just around 21,006, but it's going to be able to absorb everything that I needed to do, because if I'm diving, I am not thinking about being careful. And if I'm wearing this one on the boat or we're enjoying ourselves for the weekend, I am not wanting to think about how safe and secure I need to be with this. No, Give me an Audemars, a Royal Oak, an Offshore that I can be completely offshore and out of control. And with this turquoise blue, it definitely does. Some of the other fun little things, I love full stainless steel piece, but guess what we do have on the back? Are you ready for it? Open it up. A 22 karat gold rotor. Yes, 22 karat gold. Now, when we say 22 karat gold, we really do mean that that one is almost a pure gold rotor. It's going to give that nice weight and balance to it as well. And it's also going to give you that exclusivity and that piece that is going to give you that extra rotor resistance that you need. You know that it's actually going to last. This piece to me has been perfectly balanced, perfectly placed with an amazing color that really just stands out. Released in 2018, this is still in production. And it is one of those pieces that you will not find many of at all. But guess where you can find it? Here at SwissWatchExpo. We have it right now. We know that it will not last long. So tell us what you think in the comments below here at SwissWatchExpo.